Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNET, the Great American Broadcast Network. This is an Internet Network news break. IP Pingsley reporting. Our top story, the Great American Broadcast Network, otherwise known as GABNET, is now a TuneIn partner. TuneIn, the world's largest audio network, has joined forces with GABNET, the world's most innovative talk network. GABNET's partnership with TuneIn means that listeners now have 3 main ways to listen to GABNET programming: GABNET.net, TuneIn.com, and the convenient TuneIn app for smartphones. To participate in the network's innovative citizen panels on GABNET programs, use Skype and type the handle GABNET Live, or call on your phone 347-352-0079. For more information on this network, its programs, and its hosts, log on to GABNET.net. That's GABNET.net. This has been an Internet Network news break. Spotify has 180 million monthly users and access to 35 million songs and podcasts. Now, all those offerings are going to have to move over and make room for GABNET programming. Yes, at long last, Alex Bennett's Ramble, Damian Chaplin's Exchange, Jack Bishop's The Intersection, and even the franchise MC's Arena and Michael Snyder's weekly movie reviews will be fighting for space on this massive platform. Each day, the programs are updated, so you can hear them on the Spotify app, available for all smartphones and game consoles. Or you can just go to Spotify on the web at Spotify.com. So, give us a shot on Spotify. There's a 35 million to 5 chance we'll get people to listen to talk like they've never heard it before.
Hi everybody, this is Alex Bennett, and I've had a long and interesting trip. It's called life. And for years, people have demanded that I write a book about it, and while I've been a writer, my main talent has always been that of a broadcaster. Over a year ago, I decided not to write the book, but using my best skill, I decided to tell it. It's called Life in the Passing Lane, and I described it as an audio biography. It's presented in 30-minute chapters, so it's easy to binge listen. And you can access it on the GABNET page by clicking on Life in the Passing Lane and going to a page with every single episode, plus some extras. If you want to access it on your mobile device, that's easy too. It's on iTunes. It's Life in the Passing Lane, an audio biography by me. I'm Alex Bennett.
GABNET needs you. Yes, GABNET needs you to call our live programs and be a part of the citizen panels. It's the most innovative talk format yet, because it's not just one caller, it's a group of callers interacting with the hosts at the same time. Here's how you do it. It's simple. First, download Skype at Skype.com. To install it, answer 4 simple questions: first name, last name, email address, and your choice of ID. Then launch Skype, go to Add Contacts, type in GABNET Live, and ask to be made a contact. Then you're ready to be on the citizen panel. If you're too lazy, well, you can always call on the phone at 347-352-0079. That's 347-352-0079. For all the information and a call button for Skype, log on to GABNET.net. At the bottom of the page, you'll find a video on how to call us and how to use GABNET. It couldn't be easier. It couldn't be more fun and exciting. We're new. We're different. But we need you to call. So for crying out loud, call or we'll kill this dog. Don't worry, Fluffy. They won't let you die. I'm not kidding. Call or Fluffy gets it. Oopsie. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNET, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Hey,
Hey everybody, how are you? It's the Ramble. It's Alex Bennett. We go until midnight Eastern Time on the East Coast of the United States. We're coming to you out of New York City, and over there on the other side of the room, I just woke her up. There she is. What? I woke you up, didn't I?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was dozing off watching Lorena Bobbitt cut off people's dicks. Boy, you'll watch anything, won't you?
Go back into this landfill and pick it up. And I put it in ice and brought it to the hospital.
Is this the one where they interview the guy who put it back on?
Yeah, the doctors
I think I saw
there.
that documentary. Yeah, they put it back on, and what it was is she cut off his dick
and threw it,
and then she panicked, got in the car, went for a drive, and
threw
it out the window. Luckily, the cops were able to find it. I wonder how they picked it up. Did they just did they have tongs or something? I mean, you pick it up. No, you pick it up. No, you pick it up. I always said that one of the low points of my life was I was at the Moonlight Bunny Ranch for one of Dennis Hoff's birthdays, okay, one of his parties that he had there. And I was there, and all of a sudden, there's a person going around taking pictures of people with people and everything. And the photographer says, well, the three of you please get together. Let me take a picture of this. And he clicks the frame. And I look, and on one side of me is what's his name? Joey Buttafuoco. And on the other side is John Wayne Bobbitt. And all I could think to myself was, this may be the lowest I've gone in my life. And you know something? I didn't think about it, but I should have asked for a copy of that picture.
Yeah.
I wish I had it right now to show to everybody.
Oh, that would have been hysterical.
Most people don't even believe I was between those two people. But somehow Dennis always managed to get the most notorious people he could lay his hands on and get them to come to his parties. And there I am between John Wayne Bobbitt and Joey Buttafuoco. And I had not talked to them in the entire evening. It's just I was there, and the photographer pushed these two people next to me and said, let me take a picture. So... yeah.
There it goes.
He made a porn film.
Which one?
John Wayne Bobbitt.
Did anyone see the results of the surgery?
Yes, that's what the film was.
Was it a good stitching?
I have no idea. I couldn't watch it. It was directed by Ron Jeremy. The only thing missing out of that picture was Ron Jeremy, but I like Ron. Ron's okay.
I'm in pain.
You can't hate Rain. What?
I'm in pain. I've got this shooting pain going down my arm.
We really have to stop this. We really have to stop this. So how are you? Well, my arm's hurting today. Well, how are you? Well, my bottom of my foot's hurting me. Well, how are you? Well, I got this thing with my tooth. And I got this house looks like rehab. Okay, because in our bedroom it's like a rolling gym, and you've got all these things you do in the bedroom. If I brought that much stuff into the bedroom to do something I wanted to do, you'd
put
tell
that
me
much stuff into this room and that room. So there,
in that room.
Yeah.
Well, you've got the living room, you've got the dining room. You've got the bedroom is yours. That's your territory.
I'll say the bedroom
all
is
those
mine.
territory. The kitchen, you really have dominion over the kitchen.
I don't cook anymore.
You don't. I do all the cooking. Really, I do all the cooking, and I'm not bad, am I?
It's not like I get a dinner. I'll get a hamburger.
Yeah.
No salad, no vegetable, hamburger.
Well, I don't make the full course meal because you won't eat the full course meal. You barely get through the hamburger. There we go. There we go. When can we stop with that?
I don't know, but
I was thinking that if I get the prostate cancer and I have to have these hormone shots every month, how do we go on vacation if I have to have them every month?
Well, same way we're going on vacation now.
What?
The same way we've been going on
Yes,
vacation.
now, but let's say I want to start doing vacation.
Yeah, I'll believe it when
I guess I
see
can
it.
go a couple of weeks
Yeah, I
without
gotta
it.
go get a pill.
Really? I have one here. Wait a minute. What do I have
My
here?
back.
What do I have
No,
here?
take my.
I think this is a Vicodin. I'm not sure.
No, I don't want it.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. It just might be a. I don't know what it is.
Ibuprofen.
I don't know what it is.
I don't want it.
It says something 6 something 6
I don't
N7.
want it. I don't want
Well,
it.
so you want to go get it?
No, I'll wait until
Huh?
16 minutes.
So I was thinking last night. I had a little something. I thought maybe I'd talk about it with you today.
Go ahead.
Because it's something that I suddenly realized that as I'm getting older, I start realizing these various things about my life, like having this interview last night with Ted Randall.
That
for
was
instance.
very good, by the way.
Yeah. But I think I expressed this once to Ronnie when we were married. I said, the problem is the one thing you never will understand about me, okay, is that I was a show business kid. Because you have no idea what it's like to grow up as a show business kid.
Oh, no, I don't.
You know, and my father was in show business. I mean, my father was a musician, and in order to make a living, he would sometimes have to travel for extended periods of time up and down the coast of California with the orchestra that he was with. And I would hear from him by telephone, and he would write me all the time from every place that he was. But I knew what it was like, and I knew what it was like also because I stayed up later than most kids would stay up, so my father could see me when he got home from working at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, I grew up as a showbiz kid, and that's an entirely different way of growing up. It's different than any of the other families that were around
I grew up as a
us.
school teacher's kid.
Yeah.
Very boring.
Yeah, but nobody really truly understands that, and I don't think neither have the people I've worked with over the years. You know, because I work in radio, and radio is kind of pseudo show business. It's not really show business. It's how can I put it?
It's faux.
It's not really show business. Okay. Do you want to leave and I can just talk about this to the
I want to
audience?
hear it. But you're saying I can't talk.
What?
I can't talk.
What do you mean you can't talk?
You said, do you want to leave? I said, no.
No. Well, I mean you're in pain. You say.
Well, I
so,
am.
you
I'm
know.
waiting it out.
Well, why don't you go get a pill or something?
Okay, I'm going to say goodnight.
You're going to say goodnight?
Yeah, you're just going to do your story.
Okay. Well,
Well-
it would be nice to have somebody react to
Well,
it.
I'll
but
come back. I'll come back.
What are you doing? You're going out to get.
Medication.
Yeah, she's going out to get her medication. Okay. Anyway, the thing was that I never felt that radio was really show business because the people working in it really weren't show business people. They were, I don't know how to put it. It's really strange. But so I was kind of different than all the other people who worked radio with me because I came from a show business family. I was brought up, for lack of a better term, like they used to say in show business, in a trunk, you know. Most people do not understand that, and so therefore they really never understood that about me. And so I always felt that at radio stations I was, oh, here she is, she's back again. I always felt at radio stations they didn't understand me completely. Because everything that I did in radio, I did from the standpoint that I was putting on a show, okay?
Right.
And while everybody would call their programs shows, they really weren't. You know, they were just disc jockeys. They were record players, or they were talk show hosts, or whatever. But they really weren't in show business. And everything I did, I looked at from a show business standpoint. Am I boring you?
No. It's just tired.
A show business standpoint. So I kind of feel that hurt me in the business, because at least in the business I chose, perhaps I should have just gone into movies or something like that, or into something where it was actually show business.
Ah,
You know,
you were on the cusp.
No, I always treated my radio career as show business.
As a wannabe.
No, not as a wannabe. You don't understand what I'm trying to tell you.
I
See,
do.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm only kidding.
No, but you don't understand
That's
what
true.
it's like to grow up in a, like a kid in a what do you call it, in a show business family. And so I grew up as show business, and
There's no business like
Yeah.
show business.
and I just feel that in my whole career the business never understood me. Reason I always had a bad time with the business was because I was trying for one thing, which was to entertain, okay, and these other people were out to do something else.
Out to play a record.
Out to play a record, yeah. Like I never really enjoyed being a disc jockey. I mean, in the beginning I was, because that's what you had to be in order to get a job. But I was not really big into being a disc jockey, because the part about being a disc jockey I didn't like was that every time I played a record, I was using somebody else's talent. I was relying on somebody else's talent for the content of the program. So anyway, so I just feel that and none of the women I ever married, I think, totally understood what it was like to grow up like I grew up.
Good.
And there's no way I can impart to you how it was different, except that it was. And when I went to school, it was different. Well, what does your father do? My father has a real estate company in Larkspur. And what does your father do? My father's a dentist. What does your father do? One of the fathers was the prison librarian at San Quentin. And then they say, what does your father do? And you say, oh, he's a violinist. And they go, oh, really? Really? You can earn a living playing a violin? That's not what dads do. Dads go to work and whatever. So I never felt that even the kids that I grew up with totally understood the kind of life I came from. And I always felt, I think, as I look back on it, I'm beginning to understand a little bit of why I've always felt a little strange and a little not the same as anybody else. And even kids today who are like, people who grow up and they're movie stars and things like that, sometimes didn't come from a show business background. So now their kids are learning what it's like to be
strange
in show business. Well, what does your daddy do? Well, he's an actor, So I have always felt a little strange that way. And I was trying to ascertain why. See, I was thinking there's this team that was in L.A. on KROQ called Kevin and Bean. And they announced that Bean is retiring. He's quitting the show after 30 years. Why didn't I ever have a show for 30 years? Why is it I had them for I think the longest period of time I had a show may have been either Live 105 in San Francisco or Sirius XM. Everything else, I was good for about 5 years.
Wow.
And it wasn't that I left them, they left me. And I think it was because I just was coming from a different place. They never quite understood me.
We never got it.
Yeah, because, when you got a guy as a general manager of a radio station, what's his biggest job? Most general managers for radio stations came out of being salesmen at the station. So now he's your boss, and he's running the show. And you're the expert in doing show business, and he's the expert in selling shoes. And yet he is now saying, that wasn't a good show this morning. Or, you know what, how your show would be better if you did this? And you go, wait a minute. You're talking to nobody ever looked upon me as the expert of how you do a show. Get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so because I came from that background, I think I was just a little stranger than most of these people had to put up with.
You were never appreciated.
I don't know that I wasn't appreciated. I mean, I think I got more appreciated as I got older.
Could be.
I came to New York and everybody's going, oh, Alex Bennett. Oh, sure, we remember you. Wait a minute, there's a problem. I don't have audio. Oh, boy.
No one's listening to us?
No, I don't have audio on the video. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I do. Excuse me. It was what happened last week. It's below. It's too low on the There's 3 bars, and that was the 3rd bar I had to look at.
Back.
What?
My
Oh,
back.
come on! I'm trying to talk.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you know. But do you understand any of that?
A little bit. I mean, it's like you don't understand my creative genius.
Well, no, I
No, you
understand.
don't.
I understand creativity.
You don't understand being an artist.
Yes, I
No,
do.
you don't.
Because I
No, you
consider
don't.
my work an art.
You don't understand my background.
Yeah, but I've never seen you do it either as long as we've known each other. You gave up on art a long time ago, and you
I
shouldn't
did.
have. You were terrific.
I did.
Why did you give up on it?
I ran out of money. I mean, I did.
I guess painting is expensive, isn't
Well,
it?
yeah. I mean, you know, I didn't paint small, and the linen and the stretchers and the oils and the room to paint it
Well,
in.
Van Gogh was poor, and he managed to hack it.
He sold his ear for money.
Do you know he only sold 1 painting in his entire life?
Yeah, his brother sold the rest.
His brother bought it from him, and they only sold after he died. Yeah. So there's a guy who was unappreciated.
Was the brother alive to get the money?
Theo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Well, Theo, I think, started selling them, but they were never worth, what.
But they are today.
What they are today. I mean, a Van Gogh goes for what?
Millions.
Millions and millions and millions and millions. So, but I think I understand the process you go through. I mean, what goes through your head and what you're trying to do. But because I don't draw, because that is not my form of art, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't fully understand. I do appreciate the fact that you can even do it, because I can barely draw a straight line. So when I see what you've done, I go, that's some amazing stuff.
You
Some of
like
your
my
stuff's
stuff?
really good. Some of your stuff sucks, but some of your stuff's really good. Well, just like some of my stuff
Yeah,
sucks, and
that's
some of
true.
my stuff's really good.
You've never told me, though.
Oh no, I think what I've seen is just really nice.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't mind it hanging in this house.
Oh.
There are a couple of them that I would take down and put better stuff up, but where is all the really good? Is there more stuff? There are more paintings somewhere, aren't there?
They're all over the place. Even in this apartment, they're all over the place.
Really? They're not hung?
Right.
Right. You got them like stored in a closet or something.
And rolled.
Yeah, she wanted to be, why you never continued, I have no idea.
I ran out of money.
Yeah, and there was no way to really make money out of it.
Well, David and I split up, so we sold the loft.
Yeah.
So I had no place to paint.
You need a lot of room for painting.
Oh, yeah.
For the kind of stuff you
Well,
do.
oil and life don't mix. I used to leave my shoes at the door of my studio, and then get into my paint shoes.
That's why you need a special place you go to and you paint.
Exactly.
And it's going to have paint all over the place,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
And then another place where you live.
And even though I had a designated space for my painting, it still gets...
Well, you would have liked what I did in San Francisco. I had 2 apartments.
Oh,
One of the
that's
apartments
nice.
was used as a studio and an office, and the other one I said would never be used as an office. The only thing I did was I had a computer in there so that I could check my mail and things like that. And
Okay.
that was it.
All right,
Right.
I think it's time.
No, it's not
Put
time.
my back.
Well, then you can go.
All right, can I say goodnight?
Yes, you can.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm really have a pain.
She's an old lady. Wait till you see her walk out of the place. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me just do this. As you see her walk, look at her. Look at her. Look at that old lady
I'm
walk.
walking fine.
You're walking fine.
walking
fine. Yeah. So
Good
anyway,
night.
okay. Good night, dear. So anyway, it really is. When I was growing up, I never felt like how am I trying to put it here? I never felt that I was understood by my friends or anybody else, because I was just a little bit different, and I think that's been the whole hallmark of my life. And it's funny that I'm thinking about all this stuff now. But it seems that when you get to be my age, you start, it's not reminiscing, but you start start thinking about this stuff. It really is amazing. So anyway, I was thinking about that last night, and I thought I would bring it up to her, but she was so tired tonight that I couldn't get a good conversation going with her. So What the hell? Anyway, I'm opening up the Skype lines right now, so you can call at this time, and we can talk with you if you wanna call. What news was there today? There wasn't anything really big outside of the fact that what's his name, that guy who's on Empire, I forget his name now. The kid who said he was beaten up and everything. They decided to impanel the grand jury, and they charged him with 16 felony counts today. So he's in a lot of trouble. What is it? Jersey, Juicy? I can't remember. Forget it. But that was the only big piece of news to come out today. That and just the normal stuff that they keep blathering about. Anyway, our lines are open, and I'm a bit on the tired side myself tonight. So it would be nice if you called. Hold on a second. I'm looking at some other stuff here to make sure it's all working just fine. All right. Okay. And if you want to know how to call our program, you use a thing called Skype. It's from Microsoft, and it sucks. But it's the only thing we've got where we can put together what we call a citizen panel, and that is a group of people talking instead of just me and one other person. And again, it's another feel-free night. Next week will be another feel-free week. And it has been going really well. I mean, people are, it's gotten really good, the discussions that we have and so on. So anyway, and people, if I say, like, I've opened the lines now early, right? Nobody calls. You know why? Because nobody tunes in till like the 30-minute time frame. But here comes Chris Wallace first of all, and then Bree is calling from Dubai. So wait a minute, Bree is calling from Dubai, I think. There's Charlie Wallace. Let me see here. There's Charlie. And Bree, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Alex?
Yeah. Can you show us your picture, or are you not in the position to do that?
Alex, I've got a special treat for you.
What's that?
I'm walking there now. I just need a few minutes, please.
Where are you walking to?
Here it is.
Really?
Okay, I'm going to show you the picture, and you tell me where I am in the world. Okay.
Where? Well, but first you got to turn on your video.
I'm a little tired because I've been walking to get here. About an hour.
About an hour. Okay. Hello, Rob. You got to turn on your camera though, otherwise we can't guess where you are.
Well, I've got to get there first.
Okay.
I'm very close.
Oh, you're very close.
I need to get out of this place.
Yeah. Is it the Burj Khalifa?
No.
No. Okay. Well, that's the only thing I know in Dubai. How would I know anything else?
What if I'm not in Dubai?
Oh, well, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
We just lost Charlie.
I need about 5 minutes to figure out how to exit this place because it's very confusing and the signage is terrible.
Oh, okay.
But when I show you,
yeah,
Rob will get it right away, I bet.
Rob will get it right away.
I think Rob will.
Oh, okay. So
that gives me a little hint, maybe.
Well, it's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, huh? Or where's Waldo?
Yeah. Okay, I think I found an exit here. Oh, yes, okay.
Why?
Fine.
Where are you? Are you like in a shopping mall or something like that where you don't have an exit?
No, I'm in a convention center. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Okay. Okay, let's see.
I'm not guaranteeing that this will work, but we'll see.
Okay, okay. Turn sideways so we get a wide view of you. There we go. Okay, so where are you? You're in. Is that Shanghai?
No.
Wait a minute. Where is that? I know that.
Well, you said I might get it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Singapore.
Nope.
No, that's not Singapore. Singapore doesn't have the kind of architecture. I mean, it looks like Shanghai to me because of those towers, but wow. Those buildings are, the ones in the front are kind of Western looking,
The two connected. Look at those towers connected.
Yeah, but that I remember seeing those two towers in a Sean Connery film that was done in, I believe, Shanghai or Singapore.
No, you guys.
And it's not Shanghai.
So call in now, folks. What's the number, Alex?
Wait a minute, Shanghai?
No, incorrect. Wrong.
But am I right? Were those two things in a movie with Sean Connery?
They were in a movie.
Okay,
but,
so where was he?
Sure
I thought he was in either. We keep losing Charlie. I thought he was in either Singapore or Shanghai.
Well, you're close. I think that we've got to have callers call in, or people who tune in now, look at the video.
Yeah.
And tell us where I am.
Well,
I'm walking to them now because I'm meeting a friend for lunch inside. But
okay, wait a minute. There's Shanghai. There's Singapore. There's Hong Kong, but that's not Hong Kong. It is? Maybe? Is that Hong Kong? No, it's not Hong Kong. But I do know the buildings. I identified where I've seen them before, and I thought that was shot.
So this city's got to work on their branding if they can't get you, Alex. And Alex, you were also talking about the radio, and I understand what you're saying, because sometimes you have to be show business, and sometimes you're not, because sometimes you have to go to a mall, and you have to, I used to do this when I was in undergrad, and I started a radio station at the same time you were at Live 105. But I started it in Pittsburgh. Yeah. And this was after our main station had gone off the air. And by the way, our station was the first station outside of New York to play the alternative music format. It was called Double X, and it was based on WLIR and Larry the Duck out of New York City. Yeah. And they came to Pittsburgh. Anyway, they closed down, but everybody had loved the station, and I was working for the college station at the time, so I took over an AM station, and I programmed alternative music, and it got ratings for the first time in its history. And so I know what you're saying. Most of the time, we're just in a room talking to ourselves. But sometimes you have to be a showman, and I was never comfortable with that. I preferred being in the room and just talking to people. Right. Going out and meeting them, not so much.
Well, as I said earlier, I think I always felt that the radio was the place I could perform, but I didn't necessarily feel comfortable in radio because I wasn't really a radio guy. You know what I'm saying? It's really strange because of my upbringing. So anyway, now that was in the Sean Connery film, and it had to be one of those cities. You're not gonna. Can anybody?
How much is it?
Huh?
45 ringgit. Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah. What was he trying to sell you? Well, there's a clue. Wait a minute. Let me look up the ringa. R-I-N-G-A.
You guys are terrible.
Let me see. The ringa.
I can't believe somebody is going to call in.
Wait a minute.
45 is way too high. That's like $12 US for a little clip-on to your phone to give you wide-angle lens.
Oh, really?
I guess I could buy that and show you the wide angle of this, but I think it's pretty clear right now, right?
Yeah, no. I know the building. I identified it for you, but I can't remember where that movie was shot.
We're taking callers now, and be the seventh caller to identify the building, and you will win $100 Gabnet dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, the hell with it! Give him 1,000 Gabnet dollars.
1,000 Gabnet dollars if you can identify the building.
Yeah.
See, that's what we do in radio.
Wait a minute.
Like, be the fourth caller, and there's no commercials, and all hits in a row.
Syria. What's that say?
That might be giving it away. I can't go there.
Let me see here. Syria.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Let me see here.
It's okay. They said that they can see it. Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Is it in Malaysia?
You got it, Alex.
Yeah, because I
Finally.
just looked up the Syria and it said Malaysia.
You cheater.
Yeah, but what city in Malaysia?
Oh, I'm in Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur. Okay. All right. Okay.
We had
Okay.
an office there at a company I worked for.
Really?
Going back to this because I look like an idiot. So sorry about it. But
No, you don't look like an idiot.
well, when I'm holding my phone like that. Plus, I got to get inside. I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, it is.
So
I
what-
mean, it's nothing like Dubai in the summer, but
Yeah.
it's pretty darn close.
What do you?
Pretty darn close.
Well,
Right now, Dubai. Oh, God, we have beautiful weather in Dubai.
yeah.
Just beautiful.
Well, what are
Perfect
you
weather
doing?
every single day.
What are you doing in Kuala Lumpur?
I've been invited here to give a talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that's on Monday. So I've been here many times before. So I have friends in the city. I had some friends who were going to fly in but didn't get a chance. The timing didn't work out. But
Yeah.
I'll be back over again. In June, I'll be in Bangkok, and we'll see.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so good, terrific. So
So that's the treat for you, Alex. You know, it's funny. I always wanted to do that in Dubai. I wanted to wake up early
yeah,
and and go to the Burj Khalifa and show you that,
yeah,
or the Burj Al Arab. But I never got up early enough. And also, I don't think that the Skype worked in Dubai. We tried it once, if you remember. On the 4G, it doesn't work. They shut it down. I think that you have to be on a Wi-Fi where they allow it. You know.
yeah. Well, you're just using regular phone service where you are now, right?
Right. I'm just using the regular cell phone service.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Don't you pay through the nose for that?
absolutely not.
Wow.
So cheap. Much
Really?
cheaper here. Much cheaper here than Dubai.
Yeah.
In Dubai, I pay through the nose. But and I don't get most things. They don't like Skype. They don't like FaceTime. They don't let WhatsApp or Viber or anything. But here in KL, I can use it all, and it all works. So, you know, a lot of people have written in the newspapers in Dubai, even businessmen, saying, you know, get with it, Dubai. You've got to realize that you can't charge a toll on this. But they still do, and I think it must be for security reasons. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, because Dubai is forward-thinking in every other area.
Yeah. By the way, Richard Johansson, who is in Oslo, who is in Norway, wrote and just said Kuala Lumpur. So he knew it, I think, before I did. I didn't see it over on the side where he had written it in. So you win the prize, Richard, and I don't come on to New York and pick it up. I have no idea what the prize is, however, you know. Anyway, now this is just a shopping mall in Kuala Lumpur, right?
That's right. I'm going to take you down to the lower level where they have more Malaysian trinkets for sale, and I'll show you the T-shirts and some of the items that you can buy as a tourist.
Good. Hello, Jason. How are you?
Hola.
Did you know he was in Kuala Lumpur when you saw those buildings?
I looked it up online. I put in skyscrapers, bridge,
Yeah.
and pulled it right up. So I was trying to call in, but I was too slow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as soon as I saw that sign, I just put in the name of the sign, and it said Malaysia. So, yeah. Well,
You could have just kept guessing. I mean, especially, don't you see the people and the way they're dressed? That would have given it away to me.
Boy, you've got a great signal in there. Are you on Wi-Fi now? I guess maybe.
No, I'm on 4G.
Wow.
Don't worry, I got 15 GB.
4G
So-
LTE.
I've got 15 gigabytes for 7 days. I think I'll be fine. And even on Sunday, I'll be on Wi-Fi.
Well, wait a
most of the
minute.
time.
15 gigabytes for 7 days? How much did that cost you?
That
$30.
cost me. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to pay that much. No, it cost me about $11.
Wow.
In the U.S., that would be cheap.
In the U.S., you couldn't get that. You go to Europe. You go to Europe and you buy time for foreign places before you leave here, and you pay $30 for something like 300 megs or something like that. Am I right?
Yeah, just jailbreak your phone and get a SIM card wherever you're going, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to some guy when I was in Canada one time. He was from England, and he was telling me how cheap it was to buy data, over back in Europe, and it was ridiculous because there's so many competitors that the prices drop so far.
Well, my wife works with people who travel between here and Beijing a lot, and they have 2 phones. And when they're in China, they use
iPhones. I have iPhones.
Well, you know something? The newest iPhone supposedly can take 2 SIM cards. And you can have a SIM card for the country you're going to, and you can have a SIM card for here.
The phone I'm on right now has 2.
Yeah. Did you ever set that up, Rob?
Yes, I did.
Did it work out for you all right? Or
yeah, it works great. Yeah, absolutely, it works.
Is that called the eSIM or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you use it for?
So I have 2 phones. I have a business line, and my personal cell line. And I used to always have to carry 2 phones. Now I only have to carry 1 phone.
Okay, and that's the newer.
This is the 10SX.
The 10SX. Okay, and it will take 2. So that if, let's say, I call you on your other line, that phone will ring too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in other words, it serves both.
Yep.
Both
it's
accounts.
Like almost the same thing back in the day, having distinctive ringing for a fax machine. You have 2 phone numbers, 1 phone, except for you can split it in half and have, different profiles, right?
I can set up, like, all of my contacts. I set which phone number that, like, if I'm in my contacts and I click call someone, it automatically calls them from, if they're personal contacts, from my personal number, and vice versa. Same thing with texting.
And you can dictate which line it's going to use?
Yeah, by selecting personal, whatever you label. I selected business and personal.
And so if you go to the other line, let's say than the one you're on, it doesn't go through any process of changing. I mean, it's just it's seamless, right?
Yeah, it's just whichever line you select.
Wow, that's great. That's
works
terrific.
Wonderful. No more 2 phones. Gotta say, it's great.
Yeah, you had to have 2 phones before.
I almost cheated, kind of doing the same thing. Like when I'm at work, our phones are tracked if we're driving.
Right.
So if you receive a call while you're driving, your boss gets pinged letting them know. So I just call forward my work phone to my personal phone. And then so during the day, it just sucks. At the end of the day, I have to uncall forward my work phone. But I wish I could do it from my personal phone, so if I forgot and I'm home, I can just go uncall forward. But
now wait a minute. So your boss is constantly checking to see if you're ripping them off?
No, not ripping. If I'm using my phone while I'm driving.
Yeah.
So they have a program. If my vehicle is moving, and my phone is moving, and I answer my phone or do anything on my phone, they get a text notification letting them know that I'm moving and using my phone.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
So that's why I just forward it to my personal phone. Just carry my personal phone, and
there's no Durian King. Is that the word for burger?
No.
Truly a
durian is a famous fruit, Alex. I can't believe you haven't heard of it.
Yeah,
it tastes like amazing, but the smell is terrible.
Smell is like ass.
Really?
Yeah,
but
Rob knows that.
But the taste.
Alex, I can't believe it. You go out today and try. They've got to have it in New York City somewhere. Find it. Try
very
it.
hard to find.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So these are only in Malaysia. Truly a piece of Malaysia. Here's King Kong on the Petronas Towers. You see that?
Yes. Hey, there's Charlie. You're back again, Charlie. You had some problems?
Yeah, I had to reboot my whole computer to get Skype to work.
Oh, wow. Son of a bitch. Let me see here. So what are these T-shirts?
Yeah, this is local slang.
A suffix To place emphasis what? On the sentence. Malaysian food is really good. La. Oh boy. So,
La is they use that in Singapore.
yeah.
It's
Yes, they do.
one of the, they'll be talking and they'll say la, just as the la.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alamak means oh no.
Alamak.
Yeah.
Alamak.
What part of Alamak don't you understand? Oh, bole. It means Malaysia can do it. What? Really? Oh well.
Yeah.
Enough of
Like
learning the
Malay.
language. I'll never have to. So,
Or you're out in public.
man, they really love those towers, don't they? Those are like that's their entire
That's the
identity,
durian right there.
huh?
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's one. But apparently, if you didn't know it, then they need to work on their branding. Because if New Yorkers don't know the Petronas Towers or KL.
Yeah, but
we
wait a
gotta
minute.
work on their
Go
branding.
back to that. That was a Keith Haring ripoff. That picture. Somebody was
Really?
trying to do a
Is that
phony
Haring?
Keith Haring.
That's a fruit.
Yeah, but it's a phony. If Keith Haring were to have drawn that fruit, he would have drawn it that way.
Yeah, you might have a point there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's Hey Tarek. I
Hey,
like
folks,
that.
you
That's one of my
you
favorite
tuned
things.
into YouTube tonight. You wanted to listen to the Ramble, and what are you getting? A trip to the mall.
Inside.
Yeah.
Here, Alex, I could have fooled you. I could have said, here's where I am.
Yeah.
Now, here's where I am, Alex.
I don't get it. Around me, all the indoor malls are going out of business.
Of course,
Same here.
And then
They go-
they're opening up these open air outdoor malls, and it's just especially where I'm at, it gets cold in the winter. You got snow, you got ice,
yeah,
you got all
but
this
malls
crap.
malls are going out of business because the very businesses that attracted people to the malls have gone out of business. For instance, Sears used to actually get the property they were using practically for free because they wanted Sears in that mall in order to have a magnet.
Yeah, they call them anchor stores.
The anchor stores.
Yeah.
And they got away with murder for years. I don't know how they went out of business. They never paid rent. You
Well,
know.
and that was the thing that I heard about Sears too, was saying something how they're not going to actually go out of business because
How
they
much
have
are the
so
are the
valuable in
magnets?
real estate.
What did you say? What were you saying, Jason?
I
What?
wouldn't get one.
No,
I'm
Jake.
saying that Sears is valuable
this
in
is
real
nice.
estate, that they're not going to actually go bankrupt. But so I don't know how they did it.
I
They own
don't.
their stores.
Well, they're closing all the stores. I mean, they're going out of business.
Like that.
Yeah, but they owned them,
Yeah.
so they could
And they
sell
own a
them
lot
off.
of real estate, right? They own
Yeah.
a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
That's what the person was telling me, that they're more valuable as a real estate company than their store itself,
Well, here's where they were really stupid.
selling craft.
Well, no. What was
Craftsman.
Amazon? What was it? What was there before Amazon doing mail order?
But yeah, Sears was the original.
They had
Amazon.
it. They had all the structure in place to simply switch it to an online service, and they could have been Amazon. But they,
But there
they-
was a gap.
no, but they were
And
wet.
Alex, I sent you that. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I sent you that article about how Best Buy was very smart, and that really saved them, kept them alive. They were right on top of it, and they're doing exactly what you said. Getting out in front of it, realizing how people are doing things, and staying alive. Kudos to that guy that took over at Best Buy. He deserves his $1 million bonus or whatever.
Yeah, well, I for instance, am right now watching the
Million,
price
that's
on
pennies.
something on Amazon, because when it goes low enough, I'm then running down to Best Buy to buy it, and I'll show them the price on Amazon, and they'll meet it.
Yeah,
I
I just did that.
Yeah. So
I bought the Google Wi-Fi mesh,
yeah,
and they matched the price.
yeah, and without even arguing with you, you just show them the thing on your iPhone. Yes, Jason.
So I'm sorry, this is like I'm a week behind, and this was probably a week ago. Rob, you were talking about getting was it you or was it Phil talking about getting a new coffee maker?
Me,
So what that does the Keurig coffee at the same time? Did you ever end up getting one or no?
well, Well, I'm trying to make sure that it was the same conversation because it may be just a coincidence because I have the Bona Vita, which is one of the
makes
best
it to
coffee.
a certain temperature.
Yeah.
So
but now what's happening to it is I can fill the 6 or 8 cups or whatever it is, and it'll brew and it'll go down about an inch, and I got to press the button. It'll go down another inch, and I got to press the button, and something's wrong with it. So they're replacing it. But I think if this next one, because this will be the third one, goes bad, I'm going to spend the big money and go for the Technovorm. It's almost $300.
Really?
Yeah, it's expensive.
Here,
but
let
it's
me get myself.
It's made in the Netherlands.
Let me get myself out of.
I bought a Cuisinart. It's a regular coffee maker, a craft, and it also has a K-cup type of thing on the side of it too. And it actually makes a really good cup of coffee. It was like a $200 coffee maker, but I saw it on Amazon for like $80. I went to Best Buy, and Best Buy had it for like $175 or something. I'm like, hey, Amazon has it for this price. My coffee maker just broke, so I would need a coffee maker right now. Are you guys going to match it? And they said, yeah. And then so I got it for the $80 because they were matching Amazon. But then like a week later, Amazon's price went up to $150 also.
Wow.
You know what I don't? You know what? You know what kind of amazes me? This pisses me off a bit. I went out and I bought a bunch of 8 terabyte external drives because my new Mac Pro doesn't take any internal drives, so I have to use external drives. And they're very fast because it's all 3.0 and it does just fine. But they were, I got one because it was $129 for 8 terabytes. So now a couple of weeks later, I figure I need a new one. I need another one, and I run down there, and it's $149. And then another couple. Show them
your receipt.
I couldn't do that. They wouldn't price match with the old price because they won't do that. Now so the next time I went in, I really needed the 8 terabyte, and I grabbed the first one, and suddenly I noticed it's $169. So I bought it regretfully. Now I come home about a week later. I go back, they're down to $129 at Costco. So I just say, hey, your price went down, and they gave me the difference. But how do you go back and forth between 129 and then up to 169 and then down to up to 149, then up to 169, then drop it back down to 129? You would think that Costco, the price would be consistent every week, or at least it would be consistent in that it would be going down as opposed to jumping up and jumping in the middle and doing all of that. So I don't understand that. And I don't understand it on Amazon. This one thing I'm looking for, is the GoPro 7. I saw it $159, and then all of a sudden it went up to $185 on Amazon, and then it went back down to $169, and now it's at $175. Why don't they stay at a single price? Why do they keep fluctuating back and forth? And you noticed that probably when you were looking to buy that thing from Best Buy, right, Rob?
It's just marketing. That's how they have a schedule of pricing, and that's what they do. It's marketing. That's why it would surprise me that they wouldn't match the price.
Yeah. Now we're back outside, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching our program tonight instead of listening to it, we have Bree, and he is in Malaysia, in the wonderful downtown Kuala Lumpur. There we go. See, if you just...
Yeah, Alex, when I was in graduate school, what I would do is I would go down I was at Syracuse. I went to the Syracuse bookstore, and a lot of times they would have remaindered books.
Yeah.
So, you'd have books that were, for some class at some point.
Yeah.
And then they weren't using them anymore. And I used to go, what I would do is I would write down their ISBN numbers on a little notebook. And then I'd go back to my little office for my graduate school, and I would type in the ISBN in a website called half.com, which would sell books for, half price. I think they were bought by eBay eventually. Anyway, I would go in there and I would see how much was it at the bookstore versus how much was it online. And if it was more online and I could pay for the shipping and still make money, I would do it. I paid for my rent several months that way, just buying books and selling books. The biggest deal, I'll never forget it, was a book on technical television, and I bought it for $5 at the Syracuse Orange Bookstore in Marshall Mall, and I was able to sell it for $120 online.
Wow.
So apparently it was very rare.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was my biggest make I ever made, and I was so happy because I met rent that month easily.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I would make $5, $10, $20 regularly on books.
So where are you now? Where are you now? What is this? Well, of course, there are the big towers. Is there a name for those towers, by the way?
What's that?
Is there a name for those towers?
Well, I was showing it to you when I was walking around. I call it Patronus.
Patronus.
Patronus Towers. Yeah, Patronus is like their oil and gas company. It's like Exxon or, one of those, or
It sounds to me like a brand of liquor. Hey, I'll have a bottle of Patronus, please.
Yeah, Patron.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I'll drink to that. Where is everybody tonight? It's a quiet night tonight. Yes, Jason.
Hey, so I know there was the whole big hubbub. Yeah, I'm a week behind on listening stuff with Mike Allen. But where's Brian been?
Oh, Brian called the other night.
Got a job.
Did he?
You got a job.
He got a job.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he's, he says he'll call when he can, but the job takes precedence, right? But
Definitely.
yeah, I knew he wasn't dead because I think I had seen him online and written to him and so on, and he wrote back as opposed to Mike Allen, who played. Oh, we just lost. Well, there. So much for the reception in Kuala Lumpur. He, as opposed to Mike Allen, who, like, when he disappeared, just completely fell off the face of the earth for about a month, 2 months almost. Anyway. Anyway, folks, we have some. Where is everybody? Jeff usually calls. What the hell? We'll sit here with our good friends and we will discuss the world together. Anything griping you at all, Rob? That you?
Usually there is. Tonight there isn't.
Yeah.
Usually everything gripes me.
Yeah.
How about even smoking a cigar?
It's freaking cold. Last week I was in Tampa, Florida. It was 80 degrees, and I enjoyed I think 5 cigars. I come back here to snow. We had snow today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Today's our changeover day from winter to spring.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome back, Bree. We see you.
I hit the wrong button. I was trying to mute myself because sometimes I cough.
Yeah.
And I hit the wrong button. I'm like the guy from Norway. What's Richard?
Richard, yeah. Well,
where's the button? I don't know where the button is.
Oh, yeah. So you're a crackhead?
No, last week he hit the button and completely. The thing is that Skype in their
like 20 minutes on that.
Their wonderful wisdom of Skype and the new Skype and this new wonderful, easier to use Skype. If you push the wrong button, it sends the picture on your screen to everybody. And if you don't know how to get out of it, we're stuck there with a picture of your screen, which usually includes all our pictures as well. And and so he did that, and I just went, I got to hang up on him because I can't have this, because there's no way on my end I can do away with it. And that's the problem with the new Skype. If any of you want to mute somebody, you can probably do it.
Yeah, you can.
You can, or can you just do it on your machine? Will it affect mine? In other words, if
I could mute anybody on here.
Really?
All I have to do is click on their names.
Okay, mute Jason.
And then I'm just going to mute Jason right now. He's muted.
Okay, Jason, try and talk to us. Wow.
Nope, he's muted.
Wow. Okay, put him back on again. Jason, you back on?
I can't unmute him.
You can't unmute him?
No.
Yeah.
Because I've never done it before. I've never muted anybody. But I saw the option. Now when I go to unmute, the mute button is grayed out.
Yeah.
I have 3 choices: remove from call, see full video feed, send message.
Wow.
Can't unmute him.
Can't unmute Jason. So that means that anybody could fuck up this show.
Yeah.
Jason, is your volume button muted there, or can you unmute it, or no? Wow. That's interesting. That's fascinating. What are you doing now, Rob? What are you doing? We can't hear you. What?
Oh, he must have muted Rob.
He muted Rob? Oh, jeez almighty. Rob, hang up and call back in, I guess. Well, wait a minute. Let's see if adding Jason to the group will solve the problem. Hello, Jason?
Yeah,
okay.
To unmute Rob?
Yeah.
Because I muted him.
No, you can't.
Who's calling?
Can you unmute Rob? Can you unmute Rob?
He should be unmuted. I hung up.
Talk, Rob.
No, he's still muted.
Oh, jeez almighty.
Hang up and call back.
Hang up and call back. You see, that's what this is a wonderful new Skype. You know, at the very least, you should be able to unmute the person.
Yeah, you can't unmute them.
Yeah. And I have to add to the group like I used to. Okay, now can you talk, Rob? Talk, Rob. Rob, talk.
I'm here, but I hear it ringing. Something's fucked.
Yeah, it did that to me too. I don't know if it shows up on the show or no. Are you hearing that, Alex?
Oh boy! You see, I mean, this is wonderful Skype. They're just so great, you know. Is everything okay now, Rob?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, here's the
that is fucked up, because now anybody here
can do anything.
Hang up callers, can mute callers.
Yeah, but the fact is, if you can mute them, you should be able to unmute them.
Yeah, that.
Go figure.
You know, I mean, I find that disgusting. You know, it's just disgusting. And you know what part of the problem is? And you know this for a fact. The guys who build these programs sit in a room somewhere and go, "Isn't this cool? Doesn't this work great?" And they don't use it like anybody else uses it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just power users like us who can find this stuff in a second. But I mean, that's terrible. You shouldn't be able to ruin a group conversation by having somebody come on and go, "Well, I'm just pissed at everybody. Mute, 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 mute."
Especially the whole point of this would probably be like a group business meeting, and you're going to have somebody who's in charge. You shouldn't, the person who's in charge should be able to initiate the call, and people can't fuck with their feed.
Well, but you're right.
The way it is.
I can't mute Alex. He's grayed out, but everybody else is not. Alex is grayed out.
Am I grayed out on your machine, Jason?
Yes, I'm just going to look. You're grayed out for mute, but I could remove you from the call.
No, don't even.
I'm not going to.
Don't even fuck with it. Don't even fuck with it.
I know that might be an interesting joke.
Probably the reason why you can't mute me is because I am the call center.
Right. Yeah, but that's weird.
Why can I remove you from the call?
Yeah, to remove you from the call.
Yeah, but they're just, now we've told everybody about this, and people are going to call up the program and they're going to purposely fuck it up.
Yeah, Phil's going to go crazy.
Phil will silence everybody.
Doesn't need to. He just talks.
Oh man, oh man.
Where's he tonight?
He's out. If he's out feeding the sharks
he's
with
Feeding
with
himself to the sharks.
he's feeding the sharks with Phil.
Swimming with the fishes.
What?
He's swimming with the fishes.
He's swimming with the fishes. Yeah. But he's out scuba diving for 2 weeks, and so he's on a boat where I guess he doesn't have Wi-Fi and things like that. So we don't have him for 2 weeks, and it's been rather quiet around here. As I mentioned. Oh, look at that! What is that? What is he? Where did he put his phone? He put his phone on the ground, and
that's my penis on the other side of the picture.
There is this. By the way, there's this show on. Did anybody watch a program called Documentary Now? Now, let me explain the show. It actually is a comedy show, but it purports itself to be a series now in its 52nd year, hosted by Helen Mirren, of all people. And they play documentaries that have been made. And then they run what are these faux documentaries that Bill Hader and who's the other guy from Saturday Night Live that he always works with have put together the show, along with Seth Meyers, who's been writing most of these things. And they're hilarious because they're all parodies on documentaries. And the one this week stars Cate Blanchett as a avant-garde artist who does these art pieces. And it's Fred Armisen's the other guy. It's a great show. It is just terrific. And last week was a parody of the making of a cast album of a show that while they're making the cast album, they're told it was canceled on its first night, but they're going to make the cast album anyway. And they wrote all this music for this Broadway show called Co-op. And it was brilliant. So if you ever get a chance, it's on IFC, the IFC channel. Mm-hmm. So I would check it out if you get a chance. It's very, very good. Let me see here. So Manafort, what do you think about his sentence? Everybody's griping about it today.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
You're fine with that? Are you, Bree?
Yeah, I'm fine. No problem. Yep, I'm fine with that.
Well,
bank fraud.
You know,
tax fraud.
Yeah,
tax evasion.
Tax evasion. I mean, he pretty well ran the board on his crimes. But the judge said that he wasn't giving him a lot of time because for the most of his life he'd been good. He hadn't committed any crimes.
He never got caught.
Well, I'm saying could it be that he never was caught? That was the sum total of it. Here comes Vernon Nunn, ladies and gentlemen, and his picture should come in any second now.
Alex, there was one story that was interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know the truth of it, but it said that Donald Trump watched the Super Bowl, watched the Patriots win the Super Bowl in the same box suite that the owner of the spa that Robert Kraft was caught in.
They had a picture of it. Yeah.
He had a picture of him together with her.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
But now that wasn't this year?
I'm not sure.
I don't think that was this year.
Okay.
But anyway, the owner of the spa, there's a picture of him, and it's autographed by Donald Trump in that whatever that thing is he does,
Yeah.
Okay, so do I win for best green screen?
Yeah, that's the best green screen possible.
I want to see Phil top this one.
Yeah. You know, and you don't have any edging or anything. It's really good.
It's all about lighting.
Yeah. What do you think about
Alex,
what?
There's something funny here too. I got to tell. I mean, I'm admitting this. This is somewhat embarrassing, but when I live in Dubai, the women have to, wear respectful clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things when I come to, anywhere else, pretty much, even back in the States, but certainly here in Malaysia, it's just amazing, because the women wear shorts, they wear tank tops, they wear, and it's when you live for 6 years in a place where that's not allowed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the preferred mode of dress in a lot of those Islamic countries is beekeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But burqas must be awfully hot, aren't they? Or
well, it's a double-edged sword there, because on the one hand you want to stay protected from the sun.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, you are covered up. But it depends on. You should wear technically light colors, not black. You should wear. The men get to wear white, and the women usually wear black in Dubai.
Yeah.
But in Southeast Asia, in Malaysia, the women wear much more colorful clothing. They would not do that in Saudi or in the Gulf, pretty much.
Yeah.
They stay to black.
And
they do nice trim on it.
And the women out today are wearing shorts, for instance.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 80-20.
What's the temperature currently in Kuala Lumpur?
Let me check on that for you.
And what time is it? It's got to be early.
No, it's not early. That's why do you think I can get up and be on?
Yes.
It is 12:12, so it is noon.
Mm-hmm.
I will have lunch at 1 o'clock. It is currently where I am at 83 degrees with high humidity. It will get up to 92 today. Low will be 73.
Okay.
And that's the weather forecast from Kuala Lumpur.
Thank you.
Now back to you, Alex.
Okay, and now here's Harvey with sports. What did you think, Vernon, of the Manafort sentence?
I thought it was very light. I had to join the Alex Bennett Funhouse tonight, though.
The what? Oh, you had to join it.
The Alex Bennett Funhouse. I was watching a while ago on YouTube. It was funny.
Oh, you mean yeah? Well, just don't push on any of those. If you have a Skype 8, do not mute anybody. Okay.
I will, Alex. I will give the honorary Phil reply for Paul Manafort.
Oh, okay.
He got too much. He got too much, and this just goes to prove that Trump's completely innocent. It doesn't mean anything. Wild goose chase wasn't even related to what he was supposed to be going after. So now it's all ended. Nothing, no collusion. It's all done. Trump's in the clear. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the channeling Phil.
The channeling the Phil channel.
Free Friday, right? The Phil Meyer report.
Yeah. Yeah. He probably would.
Back to you in the studio, Alex.
He would make some kind of excuse for the whole thing, I'm just very. I don't know. I have weird feelings about the Manafort thing. I mean, let's face it. They got him on stuff that he did that has nothing to do with Russia or collusion or anything else. They just happened to find in the midst of all this checking him out that he had done some rather hinky shit,
But that happens all the time. In the pursuit of one thing, they find other things. Doesn't mean they shouldn't pursue them because they weren't looking for them.
Yeah. What? Yes, Jason.
So I just have a question, because I did send you that message yesterday. I don't know if you guys talked about it at all or not, or if you even knew what it was, that BDS act.
What was that? I didn't understand it.
So, like on Vice News, they did this thing. It's basically state governments have passed a law saying if you're going to participate in this boycott against Israeli products, we're not going to do business with you.
So, now, who says that?
State governments.
that if you're going to
So
boycott,
the federal government passed a bill saying that state governments were allowed to do this, and it came from an Israeli lobbying group. So basically, if you want to do business with a state government, you have to sign some type of pledge saying that you are not part of this boycotting Israel.
suppose you want to boycott Israel because you maybe don't like the way they're treating.
Then you can't do business with the state of New York.
That's disgusting.
And that's what I was emailing or texting you about.
Because I never heard of this deal. You know,
they did
they did that in Texas.
They did a good thing on Vice News about it, and I thought it, it seems anti-constitutional. Freedom of speech. Why should I be?
If I don't want to buy, if I'm a company and I don't want to buy products from Israel because I find them to be an oppressive government, let's say, which many people do consider them to be, then, and let's say for some state that passed the law, let's say I'm Islamic and I don't like the way they treat Islamic people in general, and I don't want to do business with them. The state shouldn't have any right to say whether I can do business with them or not. I'm not being anti-Semitic. I am being anti-Israel.
It doesn't matter. And then I was looking at that, and then
here's the thing that makes me sick as a Jew. Okay, is that they equate being against Israel with being anti-Semitic, and the two have nothing to do with each other.
Well, and that's what I was going toward, was that congresswoman from she's from, who has been getting all this shit from
the congresswoman from Dubai. Go ahead.
So what I'm listening to what she's saying is she's Somalian, I think. Yeah. And I'm listening to what she's saying, and I really don't have too much to argue against what she's saying. She's talking about lobbying from Israel.
Everybody was making a big deal about what she tweeted and stuff like that. And then when I asked people, okay, well, what did she tweet? They didn't know. They just heard that it was anti-Semitic. And then I went and read it, and I went, it's kind of like, I understand. Hey, look, I understand if she has a hard-on for Israel. She happens to be Muslim and Islamic, and Israel has put itself in the position of being the enemy of Islam. Okay? So you're kind of making a decision there based on, hey, which team are you rooting for? But she's being called anti-Semitic for that, and the stupid part about that is she can't possibly be anti-Semitic because she is Semitic.
She's Muslim.
She's Semitic. Yes, yes, Bree.
Well, she's not Semitic because no, that word is related to those who spoke an ancient language that's based from the Semitic language. She's actually from Somalia.
Somalia.
But religion-wise, her religion is part of the Semitic.
No. But Islam is a Semitic religion.
I would disagree. No.
Well, you're going to have to disagree with Muslims all over the face of the earth.
Well, no. Okay, if somebody's online, just Google definition for Semite, and you'll see that it's based on language, not ethnicity or nationality or religion.
Okay, let me see here. Let me look up Semite.
But but you're welcome to believe whatever you want. I mean, the world is polysemitic. I'm from Mars. I was at the moon yesterday. I mean, you can believe whatever you want, but facts are facts.
Men are from Mars.
Yeah. Well, it says it's from the biblical Hebrew, term for an ethnic, cultural, or racial group who speak or spoke the Semitic languages.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, and now look up languages of Somalia.
And it also says Semite is, the definition is a person with an exceptionally big nose who's good with money.
So. And can cut diamonds.
But here's the thing, Alex. There was also a story in West Virginia.
Yeah.
There was a poster where she was placed on the poster, and they say 9/11 never forget, and then they have her image, and it says apparently we've forgotten. That didn't get anywhere the news coverage of what she said about AIPAC. Now that is hypocritical of our media and of our system. highly hypocritical.
Well,
and
here-
I think she's exposing that.
Here was the insanity. We talked about this last night, is that Congress felt compelled to pass a resolution against hate. And I'm going, you have to pass a resolution for that? I mean, isn't that just a given?
You know, the thing that kills me
23
is
Republicans voted against it.
Yes, well, they're for hate.
the thing that kills me is it's been for years that they've talked about how we put so much money into Israel for it's basically to wash the money for political contributions, and that's basically all she was acknowledging. And if there's any truth to that, how, you know, and that's why are so many people coming out against it, because maybe they're taking part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, I just felt that from what I read that she said, I didn't see how it was so blatantly anti-Semitic. You know, and I'm a Jew. I should be the first one bothered by somebody who says something anti-Semitic.
To me, it seemed
No,
like she was
can't
more
we-
speaking out about lobbying groups from other countries.
Yes, Bree.
The problem is, can't we have a conversation anymore? I mean, it's always this, you know, immediately name calling, and people don't even have the facts. They never have the facts. I mean, who lets facts get in the way, right? I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to your fact. And you know, every single day I have to correct people about something they think, but it's not really that way. But hey, it's okay. You want to believe that? You know, I'm not here to stop you. Yeah. I'm just telling you what the truth is. You know, and as close as we can get to truth. I mean, in the humanities and social sciences, it's not like it's a natural science. And even there, you can play with things. I always tell my students, you know, 1 + 1 = 3, and they're like, no, you know, that's mathematics. Well, one man, one woman meet, have a baby, they make 3, and that's 3. So that's 1 + 1 equals 3. You know, because in the humanities social sciences, we can make these, you know, polysemic arguments. But what I don't like is, you know, it's the sign of being educated that you can be exposed to ideas, that you can discuss ideas. And that doesn't mean that you have to adopt them, make them your own, or whatever. But you have to have the ability to have a legitimate conversation about it. Let's face facts, we cannot seemingly have those discussions anymore in our country.
Well, here's what
somebody hears Trump, as soon as somebody hears AOC, boom.
Here's what bothered me, and I said this again, I said this last night, was that isn't it funny that the people who were yelling the loudest about it being anti-Semitic, what she had said, were white Southerners who weren't Jewish. You know, it's always, the people are always complaining. It's like, don't you get a little sick sometimes, Charlie, when somebody says that's offensive to black people, and you're going, well, why'd you ask some black people? You know, you're white. How are you? You're telling me what I'm supposed to find offensive? Let me figure that one out for myself. You know, I'm not that easily offended, by the way, but there are things that offend me. I mean, it used to bother me when people, and it was an expression in the language, used to say, well, I went to this car dealer and I Jewed him down. That one always bothered me. For some reason, that always bothered me.
I just learned that recently as an adult.
Yeah.
Jew him down.
Jew him down. Yes, Bree.
Alex, when I was in Poughkeepsie, I lived in Poughkeepsie, I went to Quiznos, and the guy gave me the wrong change back. And I was in my office, and I was telling my office neighbor, I said, yeah, he gypped me. And she's like, please don't use that word. I said, why? She said, my ancestors are gypsies. And that's where that word
That's
comes
where they
from.
came from, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And then I started to look at a whole bunch of them, like the chink in the armor, you know, whether that refers to Chinese or not.
No,
that's an interesting.
It doesn't refer to Chinese.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't. I don't think it refers to Chinese at all.
Did you ever watch that show? Samantha Bee's husband has this one show, or had, and he was at like a nights of whatever type of dinner thing. It was a night themed dinner, and you're supposed to shoot the other person. Oh, there's a chink in the armor. The guy takes off his helmet, and he's, you know, Chinese. He's like, excuse me.
No, no. That term I think came from
a chink is a chain.
It's a chain.
A style of chaining or something.
Yeah. But I, you know, I mean, it took a lot to offend me, But whenever I hear somebody say he Jewed me down, that kind of bothered me. I don't know why. That bothered me. How about you, Charlie? Anything ever bother you when people would say it? I mean, besides the obvious.
Most of the stereotypes that people would say around me were good.
Okay, fine. Well, let's remember that stereotypes, some stereotypes people don't mind having attributed to them. For instance, if I said, I hear, Charlie, that all black people have huge penises. Nobody, no black person is going to say to me, well, that's racist, what you just said. They're going to go.
They just say "fuck."
They go. They go.
Not a stereotype.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes, right.
Yeah, you remember when Jimmy the Greek got into trouble for talking about the athletic ability of blacks?
Yeah, but you know what he did? What he said, and this is, I always was bothered by that because I don't think he said anything wrong. He may have been historically wrong. I don't know. But what he said was that the reason black people excelled in sports is because they were bred to be strong by slave owners.
Yeah.
And does that make a little bit of sense to you at all? It made sense to me. I mean, yes, Bree.
Not to change the subject. I mean, this is related, and we'll get there. But I watched on the plane. I watched A Star Is Born, and did everybody see that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, spoiler alert. But all right,
right.
something happens when she's accepting an award, and everybody is abhorred by it, and they can't believe it, and it's crazy. And I thought, in today's day and age, like the way we are, I think I would make her more popular and more famous, and everybody treated it like it was a bad thing. But in our current climate in the U.S., I don't think it would be a shameful thing. There is no shame,
Somebody was pointing out to me, and I wish I could find the lyrics to it, but a couple of Beatles songs are very, very sexist.
Oh, a lot of music is.
There's one Beatles song in which it says, I'm going to, you better run for your life if you can, little girl,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah. What were you saying, Rob? You said something?
How about the song that Sinatra sings about, you better be, he's talking to women that are married. Mm-hmm. You better, look good when your husband gets home. He's out at the office all day he's out in the world. You better take care of your husband. What's the name of that song? Wives and Lovers?
Wives and Lovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't do that, though.
Run to his arms.
Yeah, he didn't sing that song. He didn't sing that song. That was Jack Jones.
Well, I have a copy of it. It's on, it might as well be Swing.
Oh, really? It is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one he did with the Count Basie Orchestra with Fly Me to the Moon and all that. Wives and Lovers is on there.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll check it out. But a lot of stuff that they used to write was, they tried to make a big deal out of Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yeah, that was
that's another one.
Yeah, it's supposedly a rape.
Got so many things in our culture that are just going to get, we're going to have to put them away, and there's just so much out there.
Or we need to just chill out.
Yeah.
And realize that some of them.
I'm chilling, but.
And realize that some of them are pretty good songs that were written at a time where this stuff wasn't considered verboten. Right. I think the problem that we're running into is we're running into a time in our history where we're starting to ban stuff because it isn't correct. And that when you're doing that to art and music, there's something very inherently wrong with that.
Yeah. To me, it's social media, because that's where all this stuff gains traction. Otherwise, this stuff wouldn't gain traction.
You don't think, for instance, the Me Too movement would be the Me Too movement would be nothing without a hashtag?
Yeah, it's a way for people to band together.
Well, what is that noise?
What the hell is that?
What is that?
There's a fountain.
Oh,
I see the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't touch my phone. I've got it. I'll show you. I have it propped very precariously. If I touch it, it might fall. I'll send a photo through my other. Oh wait, no, I don't have Wi-Fi. Okay, my other phone doesn't have Wi-Fi, but I'll send it later.
So how's his phone in his hand, but there's a camera from?
By the way, Patrick, you sent me a note and said that, he says, so this is a thing now. I guess every movie will be examined for its content. So what kind of?
There's something new that came out last week, and I was kind of looking at it with incredulity. I can't remember what it was, but it was one of these things where, looking back at something, they're like, okay, we can't do this anymore, we can't have this anymore, and I was like, wow, okay, that's a stretch, but anymore, you never know.
It's like baseball, right? There are eras in baseball. There was the dead ball era, there was the pre-steroid era, there's the steroid era, and each one of those eras needs to be judged in its time. You can't compare one era to another era, and the same thing is going on.
Well, who did they in baseball put the asterisks by because he may have been on steroids?
Bonds.
Barry
Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
But you can't compare eras. You can't take a movie that was made or a song that was written in 1945 and compare it to today's standards. It's either you like the song or you don't like the song. If you don't like it, don't listen to it.
We can't see it. We can't see what you're putting up there very well.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. The real thing is much better. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, for instance, let's go back to this whole steroid thing. Why should we put asterisk next to Barry Bonds' name? When he was playing, wait a minute. No, he didn't cheat at the time.
Oh.
No, at the time,
you're right.
Everybody else was doing it. So in order to be competitive, you had to do it. Does that make sense? And there was nobody saying you can't do it. And then all of a sudden, you shouldn't be doing it. Oh, you did it? Oh, well, retroactively, we're putting an asterisk next to your name. So I think that we have to, we can't set to if somebody did something 20 years ago, he did something that was in a socially, that was socially acceptable at the time. And he shouldn't be held responsible for it today when he probably would never do it today. And that's all that matters, is that he wouldn't do it today.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, Bree.
No, I was waving at someone.
Oh, okay.
but I'm in favor of putting the asterisk. Just to, well, I don't know if on each individual, but maybe just for that. Well, I don't know. I think that I'm not opposed to it if somebody wants to do it, to say that there was something else going on at that time. In fact, I don't mind if they want to do it. I wouldn't ban it in the first place.
I'm in favor of take all the drugs you want and let's see how good you can play.
Exactly.
I see now. I think that's dangerous because that's a bad precedent to set for kids. Would you want your kids to play baseball and be on all those drugs?
No.
I wouldn't want my kid to play baseball, period.
Well,
I played baseball, and I almost went, we were junior Bronco champions 2 years in a row, and I thought that was going to be my future. I ended up not doing it because I just figured the odds.
Because you didn't take the juice.
Yeah, the odds.
If you would have took the juice, maybe you would have went
Listen
on
to
professional.
this. Listen to this. You love the Beatles, right?
Yeah.
Should we be playing this song any longer? Well, I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than to be with another man. You better keep your head, little girl, or you won't know where I am. You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. Catch you with another man. That's the end, little girl.
Wow.
Isn't this violence?
A fucking threat.
Well, I'm a wicked guy, and I was born with a jealous mind, and I can't spend my whole life trying just to make you toe the line.
There was a big thing that came about. It was this one group. It was kind of house music or whatever. He was saying, raise the pitch up, smack the bitch up. And it was actually talking about training your dog. And then I was listening to that, and I'm like, well, man, there was this other song. I don't remember who was bios an oldie is played all the time. So why can't you play this song, but you can play this oldie is talking about smacking your bitch up?
Oh, catch this. Let this be a sermon. I mean, everything I've said. Baby, I'm determined, and I'd rather see you dead.
I would have hated that song back then.
Well, we were dancing to it. Come on.
Well, you know, Alex, the Me Too movement has a lot of times things start in the U.S. and they sort of go elsewhere. But you know, and I can tell you, it's definitely making people more aware internationally. But I can get away with a lot more of what I say. Like, I can get away with more things, especially in Southeast Asia when I lived in Singapore, and even today in Malaysia. I could still get away with things that I wouldn't say in the States. You know?
Yeah.
Like what?
Okay, let's say that I'm in the shopping mall, or let's say I'm going around and I see someone. I can say, "Good morning. You have a beautiful smile. Your smile is so nice." You know, something like that. In New York, they might punch me, you know, but here they wouldn't do that. Or, you know, I had a colleague once. We came out of an elevator and there was just like 5 or 6, a bevy of beauties. And he made some comment. I can't remember exactly what it was. And I was kind of taken aback a little bit because I had just moved there. But they didn't bat an eyelash. They were just like, ho, you know, ha, ha, ha. And life went on, you know.
Yes, Jason.
So I guess maybe this is a question to Bree. Was it Iran that there's been a women's movement lately for equal rights? Do you know? Or
well, I mean, yesterday was International Women's Day.
And it was a big thing in one of these Middle Eastern countries that did a women's.
Yeah, they have events all over. There were events here last night as well, over by the pavilion. So I mean, and we had one in Dubai as well. So these are definitely good things. I definitely agree that, you know, we need to move in that direction. At the same time, I don't think we got to overdo it, but you know, that's just my opinion.
I really think that that's actually going to be a really big cultural change to whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was Iran, and
yeah,
you know, if
they have that.
If that was that big of a movement there, and anything comes from it, that, you know, that's where
if you send a tweet in an Islamic country that says "Me Too," you get stoned. You know, I mean, this is just not a thing they think of. I mean, Saudi Arabia, for all that they're trying to advance things, the only thing they've given women is the right to drive. Mm-hmm. You know, but they still have to be covered, right?
Well,
right?
There are definitely changes. I think one of the biggest changes got talked about last year a lot, but not really this year, is that they opened up cinemas in Saudi Arabia, so you can now go to, you know, regular movies at the movie theater.
Yeah.
So that's something new. They were really trying.
But wait a minute, wait a minute, Bree. How heavily edited are they? Because you talk about how heavily edited films are in Dubai.
Yeah, they are edited, and it's very similar. They edit it for sort of the Gulf countries, so Saudi Arabia would be included. But they don't always catch everything. There are subtleties. I mean, if you look back to Hill Street Blues on NBC in the 80s, they were getting away with things that the network censors couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and so they do that a little bit as well, I think, and some of it gets through, but some of it doesn't. I've told you before films that I saw that I wish I hadn't paid for, like Mad Max Fury Road and Entourage, Ang Lee's Lust Caution. These are things you don't want to go see at a movie theater in Singapore or Dubai or Saudi Arabia, because they cut it too much. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, maybe that's why these women movements are happening. And I think when you get a woman's movement, and if they can actually push something through, that's when you get real, actual, you know, changes in some of these countries that are man-based. You know.
How about you?
That's one of the things.
Well, I was going to say, Vernon, how do you feel about this stuff we're talking about? You've been a little quiet tonight. Wait a minute, Vernon, are you awake? What? Vernon, your mic isn't on. Your mic isn't on.
There we go.
There you go. How do you feel about all of this?
Vernon, translate.
Well, one thing I've had a little bit of fun sometimes, half serious, but my wife and I adopted 2 biracial children. And anytime I hear somebody making some kind of a racial crack, I just say, hey, you want to see a picture of my son? That shuts them up, right?
Oh, I bet it shuts them up. You know.
So what biracial?
Yeah.
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 They were both mixed black and white.
Like half and half, or checkered, or
Yeah.
My daughter is biracial.
the cops came down my road when I was growing up saying a black and white woman escaped from the insane asylum, and my dad said, so a black and white woman, was it checkered or striped or
No, you remember when they used to always describe a person on the loose, black male. I think they still do that as a matter of identification. So if you happen to be a black male running down the street anywhere, you better watch out.
black male? What color is the stamp?
Yeah.
Of course, all my kids are biracial.
By the way, you know, your beard is really growing out there, Jason, and I was just thinking, you're getting to look a lot like Aquaman.
He's a pimp, isn't he?
I had a very thick. I cut it when I came here because it's too humid. I'm thinking about getting it totally clean shaven by Monday. I'm feeling a little gruffy.
Yeah.
Hey, so Charlie, have you ever done a DNA test to see what you are?
I'm sure I do. I know what happened to Elizabeth Warren, but I do have Native American on both sides.
You're not running for president, are you there, Charlie?
Hey, Alex, can I
Everybody
call you
else
out?
is.
Can I call you out for a minute?
Yeah.
All right, so when you joke around about calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas,
Yeah.
so if she were to have said that she was part black, would you still joke around and call her Aunt Jemima?
Of course. Anyway.
I don't think you would.
No. The reason I called her that is because I couldn't remember her name, but I could remember
I know,
what
and
Trump
then it
called
became
her.
a joke, and I think it was part of making fun of Trump.
Yeah. But let's face it. Doesn't she deserve to get a little heat for having pulled that one off?
No, because I think
she is part Native American.
No, she isn't. She's got so little in her that
That's something.
1/16th,
That's
and
something.
she did belong to a Native American tribe.
Okay, my name is Schwarzman, my real name, which means in German black man. So could I claim I'm a black man?
No, because it probably actually meant
Yes,
Smith.
because we all are.
Because we
We're
all
all
are.
descended from Africa.
That's right. That's right.
But it actually
All
probably
came there.
meant from an iron smith.
By the way, Elizabeth Warren today, she's really playing it very smart in her political campaign. She came out today against Google, Amazon, and Facebook.
She's
I
dying.
told you, I love her.
She's dying.
Yeah. And
She's
No, Elizabeth Warren
tanking.
will not be the nominee. I
No,
can tell you that.
no.
I have to disagree. I think she's actually doing really good. Anytime I hear her speak, she sounds really good. Hey, and now
But
Okay, so you think she'll be the nominee?
I think she might be.
no.
I'll bet you $100 Gabnet dollars on that.
I'll throw in
Yeah,
another
$1
$100.
million
I'll throw in
Gabnet
another
dollars.
$100 Gabnet dollars.
Okay, the bet is on.
Here's the reason
I
why.
think it's either Bernie or Harris.
No, not Bernie.
Jason, we live in a very
Oh, you haven't been watching the burn. His audience numbers are up there, just like Trump's.
and he's raised the most money.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he can win.
And he has boots on the ground in all those states. The only other person who has that is Harris.
About him say he's raising the money.
I think. See,
And it's
here,
all
here,
been
here. Listen to
$25
me.
or less,
Listen to
so
me, everybody.
If Bernie picks Tulsi, wow.
No, I judge a presidential candidate on their winnability, and that winnability has everything to do today with your physical characteristics, with your speaking characteristics, with your presence, and with your charisma. Okay, because we're living in a very media-ized age. Donald Trump won. Now you're going to say he doesn't look good. He's fat and all that, but he was a TV personality. And
they made him look great.
And they made him look great on the Apprentice. The lighting was, So now you're talking about Elizabeth Warren. I'm sorry, she's got the same charisma that Hillary had.
I disagree.
And so far as Bernie is concerned, he's your crotchety old uncle.
Again, it was great.
But both of them,
I really think you're spitting out the Russian view.
No, this isn't the Russian view. No, Russian view?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
That's why
I'm talking about. I want somebody.
That's why I fucked Hillary, because I just don't trust her. I just don't trust her.
I said this. I said this last night. That to me, Barack Obama, the minute I saw him, I said was the stealth candidate. This was the perfect candidate. Looked good, sounded good, had youth on his side. He had all the things that made for a great candidate who was pretty much impervious. Huh?
Did you guys see the dancers?
Dancing or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. I asked them to do it again for the camera. They looked at me funny, but then they did it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, but what all I'm saying is that,
I'm walking back over because I got to go to lunch.
Yeah, let's look at who can win. This is really what it's all about, and who.
Well, that's the thing. I think Elizabeth Warren probably might be the right person, and that's where we just need to get behind
I think
her
she
and
is.
Stop saying that she's a woman
okay,
and she's not going to get
okay. I'm not saying she's a woman. I'm saying she's unattractive.
It doesn't matter. It shouldn't be about her attractiveness.
Listen, if she could run tomorrow, I would vote. If she could run tomorrow, I'd vote for AOC because she gives me a hard on. Okay?
She's not old enough.
I know.
Yes.
And she might have some Native American blood. So
what were you saying, Bree? She can do whatever she wants, right?
Yes. Yeah. Anything she wants, I will do. AOC, I'm your guy around the world. You just tell me, I follow.
By the way, there are a lot of stories in New York about her that, like, she isn't as quite as what can we call it, as innocent as you think she is politically and everything else. Her boyfriend is a millionaire. And she always claimed that she was living in her apartment in the Bronx or wherever she is from, and that in fact she was living with her boyfriend in a penthouse somewhere.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
and
I was told this by somebody, and I went, so I don't care. As long as she gets the job done. And I'll tell you, that woman in about a month and a half has made more noise and gotten people talking more than I think any of these people who are ostensibly candidates have gotten.
She was living in her apartment, but then she stayed the night at her boyfriend's house. So
yeah. But I just think that they don't have a candidate yet that I've seen that is, maybe by the time he's sullied, anybody, including a dog catcher, could beat Donald Trump. But right now, I don't see anybody who can. And I'm saying you got to get somebody who can play rough. The only guy that I know could stand up to Trump is probably Biden.
But he's yesterday's news.
And he's too old. Okay, and I'm 79, folks, so don't say I'm ageist. Okay, he's too old.
But see, I think Biden could, he would destroy Trump. But I think Elizabeth Warren would also. She would just do it in a more educated and maybe snooty type
Jason, she is not a television ready candidate.
I think you have some bias.
No, it's not a bias. I'm talking about sellability. I'm talking about winnability. Yes, Vernon has his hand up.
If you guys haven't listened to Jay Inslee, he's the governor of Washington State. You guys ought to listen to what he has to say. He makes some very good points. He's not too old. He's not too liberal. He's got a lot of good things. Now some people say he's a single issue candidate because he is really really coming down hard about climate change. And he argued he argued in an interview that climate change is not a single issue item. Climate change affects our economy. Climate change affects a lot of things.
Yeah,
our
survivability as a human race.
Survivability, exactly.
Yeah.
Our military is concerned about climate change. So listen to Jay Inslee sometime if you get an opportunity.
Okay.
Because he is a governor, so he knows how to govern. He's been in Congress. He's been at the state level, and he's been at the national level in Congress. So he's got some chops.
Hickenlooper.
Bree?
Okay, so let's come back to reality. Does anybody really think that a person who is serious, has the chops, is going to make it? I'm sorry. Okay, call me pessimistic, but that's not the way the game's played anymore. The gate's already open, and the candidates are out of the gate. Huh? Hickenlooper. I mean, there's too many people.
Right now,
Biden will get in.
Here's the biggest problem. There are just too many people running, and they're all going to have to kind of jump on each other and see who the last person standing is. And it's going to be a real job to make noise more than the next guy.
And we still have to contend with that former Starbucks CEO who might run.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's taking him seriously anymore. What?
Really?
Bloomberg is out.
No, not Bloomberg. We're not talking about Bloomberg. We're talking about
Starbucks
He's talking about
Howard Schultz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Tim Horton.
Well, I think Howard Schultz hasn't yet said he was going to run, but that he was looking into running as an independent.
I don't think he will.
I don't think he's going to, because I think the reception to him has not been what he thought it would be.
Right.
You know, basically, it's like some people said, a month ago I didn't know who Howard Schultz is, and now I do. He's an asshole. You know, so.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
I'm going to bid you, everyone, a fond farewell until we meet again. I'll be here all next week, but I won't be near the towers.
Okay.
But I'm meeting a friend for lunch, and I'm going to get back on my phone.
Well, thank you for your tour today of Kuala Lumpur. And
thanks a lot. I'm so glad I got a chance to take you somewhere nice and have a nice backdrop.
Thank you. It was a nice vacation. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Okay.
And, I will be having a good weekend here in Malaysia.
There he goes.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So we lost him. Okay. So we still got 4 fine people here. But all I'm saying is that, we have to think in terms of winnability and survivability in this group of people. And who's going to be able to do it the best? And I just, I don't see, I couldn't tell you who's going to get the Democratic nomination. And I don't think any of you can either. Yeah. Yes, Charles.
I think that what hurt Hillary, especially in the 3 important states that she lost, Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin, was that the turnout from the Democrats was very low. Now, I think Trump he's been so horrible that turnout's not going to be low.
It's not going to be low.
Runs.
But still,
I think whoever the Democrats put up will beat Trump, because the turnout on the Democrat side, because he's such a monster, is going to be.
But how many of us can't sit here and honestly say that Hillary was a terrible candidate? Because I felt she was.
Yeah.
I thought she made every mistake you could make. As I said last night, and I'll say it again, at that debate when he was following her like a shark, during the debate, she said she felt like turning around to him and saying, "Back off, creep." If she had done that, she would have won the election.
I agree, but I don't think she was a bad candidate. I think that people kept on believing too much about she's, what was Benghazi?
Oh, well, the
Benghazi.
To begin with, the Benghazi thing.
Any of that crap,
Benghazi was never really an issue. They made it an issue.
Right, and I never believed it. I just didn't think. I felt she was.
Too many people that did.
I felt that she was disingenuous. There was something about her that
That's the same thing that's going on with Elizabeth Warren right now. People are saying she's disingenuous, she's not real, she's fake or whatever. I just don't think, and that's Elizabeth Warren. I really, really, really believe if everybody were to decide to start to get behind her, because I don't think any of the other people who are running on the Democratic side have anything more to offer than what she does. And I'm sorry, I'm a guy, and I do believe that a woman has the shot right now, and a woman should be the president of the United States, because they're 52% of our population. And
okay, you want a woman? I'll tell you a woman who's more electable than she is. Kamala Harris. Yes. Much more electable than Elizabeth Warren,
or Klobuchar, Amy Klobuchar.
Amy Klobuchar,
yes, another one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And they could also hold their own very nicely against Trump. I know that Kamala Harris would not put up with any shit from Trump in a debate. She would say, "Back off, creep," you know. And that,
I think a lot of people would today.
But and I think that's another thing. I don't think Trump is even going to make it to the next election. I know everybody thinks that there's a possibility he's going to be elected again, but the Mueller report comes out, man, he's done.
Yep, I don't think the Mueller report's going to really hurt him. I think it's going to be the Southern District of New York that's going to hurt him.
Yeah. I think the other problem with what's going to hurt him. I don't think that the Mueller report is ever going to see the light of day, if you want my opinion. I think that the Attorney General is going to just hold it back, say, well, we're just releasing the stuff which we think America can see.
But I think at the same time, if they do that,
it'll leak. Huh?
It'll leak, but the leaks don't count. We want the official, report. We want to be able to read it on our own. And,
there are enough people out there who really want to get him that they'll get him.
Yeah. But
if they do suppress it, that'll be a reason to vote against him.
Well, but that's you and that's me. But what about the general American public? Are you giving them are we giving them a lot of credit for brains?
There's only 33% that support him like Phil does.
Yeah,
that's not going to get them elected. If we have
33%, if they get out and vote, that's a strong.
It's cultish.
It's cultish. Yeah. Wow. Hey, listen. It's been good. Nice show tonight. We had a little trip to Kuala Lumpur and the big towers over there, and we've had some nice discussion. And so far, it's been a really good week, and I don't know why. It just, something's missing. Also, the numbers of people watching have gone up dramatically. So I don't know. Go figure.
That's because you're the shit, Alex.
Because I'm the shit. Yeah. What did you say, Vernon?
I said you've been discovered.
I've been discovered. Yeah. Anyway, tell your friends, folks. Tell your friends. Well, yeah. Thank you. Hey, listen. Thank you very much, Charles. Always nice having you here. Always a treat. Thank you, Rob. Hey, you got to make me that promo saying 5 years.
Yeah, I got to figure out if I could get my studio to record.
Well, if you could just get a good microphone going, you could call by Skype and we could record it here. Thank you so much, Jason. Always love it when you're able to call the program, and it's always nice to have Aquaman visit us. Okay. And thanks to Vernon Nunn as well. All of you, why don't you give a big wave goodbye, okay, to those people out there? Yeah, and I'll wave back at you. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's our citizen panel for tonight, and it's been a good one. It's been a nice night. Just one of those pleasant little evenings. Listen, you got a show coming right up after us. It's called The Intersection. I hope you will call that program. It stars Jack Bishop, and it follows immediately as soon as we're through here. We'll be back on Monday right after Damian Chaplin does the exchange at 9:30 Eastern Time. We'll be here at 10 o'clock. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.